Hey, welcome to Beyond the Forecast, everyone. How you doing, Brian?
Not too bad. Went surfing today, so all is good.
What was the location, or is it a secret spot?
No, not secret spot. Everybody knows. It's Croatan side of the kind of inlet, Rudy Inlet.
Yeah, Croatan Jetty spot?
Croatan Jetty.
Yep.
Dead high tide. There's a little sandbar, a little wave coming through. North wind, so the Virginia Beach side of the Rudy Inlet kind of blocked it. It kind of felt like it was offshore, so it was clean.
For those who don't know that much about surfing in the area, during high tide, it may not be the best time to paddle out and catch waves.
Yeah, it's too deep. The
Too deep.
sandbar, you need shallow enough water for waves to break.
Yep.
When you have high tide, sandbars here, water level can range from here at low tide to here at high tide, and
Yep.
The waves can't break if it's too deep. So,
If it's too deep, they'll just kind of they'll form a little bit and then nope, and then it fades away.
but if there's enough sand piled up in one spot, then you can have a sandbar that can last throughout any tide. And that's kind of what we had this morning in Croatan, so I had fun.
Bet the weather was gorgeous.
Weather was great.
been nice.
Little actually kind of cool.
Probably because of
when
the
I
dry
got-
air.
When I got out, yes.
Yep,
'Cause of the
evaporative
dry air.
cooling. Yep, so the dry air allows your body temperature to evaporate a little bit faster. That
Yeah.
temperature drops just a little bit more as it reaches the wet bulb temperature, essentially. The dry air has been nice. It's been finally nice to be able to look at the night sky, too, to try and get some images. I've got a telescope, I think, 3 weeks ago, and it's been clear twice at night.
Yeah.
I even brought it to Minnesota with me.
A brutal stretch.
Oh,
for
it's been
ya.
terrible. Yeah. It's like it's been so cloudy, you get outside of the return window to return the product in a way. It's like you couldn't even use it. I don't want to return it, certainly. I love the thing. But we're going to look at the astronomy image of the week to start off with here. So that is looking at the M15, Messier 15, or the globular cluster. This is from my Dwarf Lab 3 telescope looking to the night sky. This is in the Pegasus constellation. So this isn't something that you can see with the unaided eye. If you were looking through a very powerful telescope, you wouldn't see something this impressive unless you were under extremely dark skies.
Right.
So that would help. But
You're using really long exposure.
long exposure.
Oh, and probably some sort of polar stabilizing type of
Yeah, so
thing.
yes, so
I forget what it's called.
the polar aligned, and it's on an equatorial mount. So it's equatorial line. So basically, it just rotates with the Earth rotation,
rotation.
with that 23.5 degree tilt of the Earth taken out of the equation. So that's why the telescope is tilted slightly to match that rotation of the Earth instead of trying to do two things at once.
And that's the only way you can really get images like this too, because if you don't have the way to stabilize or have the camera go with the rotation of the Earth, then you'll just get streaks of light across your image.
Yeah, the telescope mount would have to account for the fact of the tilt of the Earth. It could do it, but you wouldn't be able to take as long of an exposure because
Right.
you'd get those streaks.
Yeah.
So this is 30-second exposures over the course of a couple of hours. I got 200 images is what I
And then
captured.
you stack them.
I stacked them all together, basically pancaked them in a way, took the best images out of those long exposures, and captured this. So you can see the cluster of stars in the middle. This is one of the more denser clusters of stars that we have in our night sky. So this is really cool. Pegasus constellation. Now, where would we find that if we wanted to look to that? Well, we'll go to right now, and we'll go to the view of Stellarium. I love this website. This is a good way to see what's going on in the night sky. So this is right now. Obviously, you can't see that because the object is below the horizon. But once we get to sunset, it's above the horizon. We have to wait a little bit after the sky gets totally dark. So a good hour or so after sunset, and we can see that object in the eastern sky. I waited a little bit longer. I waited close to about midnight when the object was about straight up. So you can see the south sky on the right side. You can see the eastern sky towards the left. Saturn is out there too, still below the trees where I'm viewing. But that object would be closer to the top of the sky at that point, very high in its view. So a great chance to be able to image it. Less atmosphere you're looking through when
Right.
the object is more straight up versus
Straight
on the
up.
horizon.
Yeah, because you're going, like you said, going through more atmosphere.
Yep.
It's going to, there's going to be a little, maybe, what's the word? Is it milkiness to the image if you're shooting through more atmosphere?
Yeah, you'll just add more turbulence. You'll add
More
more
turbulence,
noise. Yeah.
yeah.
You want to cut as much atmosphere out as you can, essentially.
Which is also why shooting in the winter is probably
Little
a
better.
a little better. Because I feel like in the summer, you got a lot of times you get that kind of haze.
Yes.
You know, a lot more water vapor in the air because it's so warm. Warmer air can hold more water vapor in general. When you get those cold, really dry nights in the winter, probably really clear for photographing this stuff.
Yes, nights in the winter are better, and it tends to be a little bit clearer at night too.
Yeah.
So if you want to see this again, it's in the night sky. It's a fun image. It's a fun thing to image. It's not too hard to image. I'm starting easy. I'm going to work my way up and get more and more complex and do more and more multiple nights of capturing images and show you along the way as we go throughout the wintertime months. Of course, planetary season is coming soon too, and I'm going to focus my larger 8-inch telescope on Saturn once I can get a view of that above the trees. I wait until the evening. I don't like to do this at 4 o'clock in the morning, just because I need to get some sleep too.
Yeah.
So again, this is looking at M15, the astronomy image of the week, but there is one that I'm working on, and that is the Andromeda Galaxy.
Yeah, you gave me a little sneak peek of that. Yeah, that looks so cool.
Yeah, so I'm not proud of this edit yet that I have.
What could make it better? Because I looked at this and I thought, if I shot this would be the best thing I've ever shot.
Thank you. Well, what I want to do is I want to get more light captured into the telescope. So my stack is way too short.
Right.
This started, I think, at 3:30 in the morning. I woke up, I was super excited to see how my globular cluster, my M15 image went, because I knew it was going to be done by 3. And then I said, well, what else is out there? And I pointed it towards Andromeda. And I think I only captured for about an hour. I think I got like 40 images. Not enough. So I want to get more images. I want to have more
to stack.
More to work with in the galaxy. I want to have a more dynamic view of Andromeda. I also want to avoid the artifacts that I have on the left side of the screen. It's kind of hard to see, but see how it's a little bit darker there?
I was going to ask what that was.
I think it's a tree.
Is it a tree?
I think so. I don't know. I just did this for an hour. I don't know exactly where everything was at night. I just kind of said, oh, let me start this. I think it was at the start of the stack. There was a tree there. And then it moved out of the view.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of funky things going on. I think there's way too much grain in the image, and I also want to...
So like the grayness being the grain, you want it to be darker, a little clearer.
I think I want to take out some of the stars too. I think there's too many stars in the view. I think
bright.
Too much going on. Not in Andromeda itself, but around Andromeda. I want to just delete stars essentially is what I want to try and do. So I don't know.
Is that
I haven't
possible?
done this before. Yeah, it is.
You can do that?
With like Photoshop and other programs, they can take the stars out. Not something the telescope does. The telescope's just going to do its thing. And I also want to see if I can tweak the center of Andromeda, maybe make it a little bit less overexposed.
Got it.
I'm learning some things. Andromeda's going to be out for a while, so it's not exactly a hard object to find, and it's going to be fun. I want to go back to one thing before we take a little mini break, but this is an image from NASA. So this is M15.
Oh my gosh.
Taken the real way. So M15 is about 33,000 light years away from Earth. That is the image that I took, but way, way better. That's cool.
You can like see individual gaps between. Are all those stars and galaxies just a bunch of different
cluster of stars?
Yeah,
is what we're looking at.
Oh, okay, cluster. All of these are stars.
Yeah. So my image. Let's go back to it. We'll just go back and forth. My image is that.
Right.
You can
see, they are closer.
Yes, it's closer.
Got it.
So that's the difference right there that we're seeing.
That's incredible.
Yes, it's a closer shot of M15, of the globular cluster in the Pegasus constellation. Cool stuff.
That is so cool.
So there's a lot more to come. We'll see what we can get for next week. I'll try and image something tonight if I can. I have a busy day coming up tomorrow because I'm going to be heading north outside of the Hampton Road cities for a story. So I got to get some sleep because I'm waking up at 6 a.m. So I'll probably try to set up the telescope and then just let it do its thing and then see what it did maybe tomorrow night.
Yep.
I'll take a look at the results. But that's what we have for now. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about our local forecast. There's a couple things we'll look at the tropics too. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Forecast. We're going to do a little bit of the local forecast now, but not just specifically local. There is that rocket launch that should be happening tonight.
I think tonight's probably the best.
I think it's going to be the night.
Opportunity?
Yep, I think it's going to be the night.
We were also kind of thinking this last night too.
Well, there was
Or
gonna be some
yesterday.
clouds.
Yesterday, I'm saying we were
Day one?
thinking yesterday's podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Our
You're
thinking
right.
was that this night would be the one, not necessarily last night.
There was a little window where things got better actually last night. I mean, I was able to image things in the night sky,
Yeah.
but again, it's not just because my location was clear for this scientific experiment. They needed to be clear in multiple locations.
Multiple areas.
And I mean, the whole point of it is you want things to be perfect if you're doing an experiment. You don't want it to be, well, it was okay, because it's an expensive experiment more than likely. It requires a lot of people to do a lot of things. Do it once, do it right.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing tonight. So hopefully, at least if the weather is permitting. So looking at the view from Wallops Flight Facility, Wallops Island, the launch pad, the visitor center is closed for this. These are sounding rockets that will go up, stay suborbital, and then come back down. Suborbital means that they're not going to be going into an orbit around the Earth. They just go up, they go down. They don't have that type of design and fuel, certainly, to get to 17,000 miles an hour to orbit the Earth. So this is the TOPEX Plus mission. The window begins at 10:30 p.m. It ends at 3:30 in the morning. The background on this graphic showing the stars is not a coincidence. It shows if there's clouds or not, and we don't have clouds even on this model data. So the sky condition on this graphic hints
Should
at
be clear.
that it's going to be clear. This whole area is clear, so that's good to see there. Again, calm winds. Winds, not so much an issue with these rockets. They go pretty fast. It's not as much of a concern. The view, to be able to see it, is anyone for Hampton Roads. Eastern Shore has the best shot, but anyone in Hampton Roads and into North Carolina sees it. I would say it's best to be near a body of water, because these trees will block the view, because this
things.
thing,
Yeah.
it goes fast.
Yeah.
It's a fast launch. So that's happening hopefully tonight. This is the TOPEX Plus mission. It sends tracers, or basically think of the type of particles that you would get from a firework. It leaves that residue behind in the upper atmosphere, really high up, 50 kilometers up to 100 kilometers, maybe even 250 kilometers up, where the aurora are, where meteors can be, not quite to satellites, but we're talking an area in the atmosphere that doesn't have a lot of air. So it'll leave something in the sky that could look like this, and their goal is to study the upper atmosphere and the winds in that location.
Yeah.
Oh, super cool science. Again, we showed this yesterday, I know, but it's kind of fun to look at it again. The atmosphere, we have only been, basically everyone watching, I would imagine, unless maybe Buzz Aldrin's tuning in, have only been in the troposphere for surface to 33,000 feet as a commercial jet. Unless you've climbed Mount Everest or you've done other things, you may have gotten a little bit higher. But this is a study for the mesosphere and the thermosphere. So super high up, 50 plus miles up in the sky. So an area of the atmosphere that we don't send weather balloons, because weather balloons don't go that high either.
Right. Yeah. And,
Cool.
and weather only occurs in the troposphere. So even if we did launch weather balloons, we're not too concerned about what happens past 33,000 feet, really.
Right, yeah, because it doesn't really matter. Now, if you get to certain situations where you get like a volcanic eruption, volcanic ash gets shot up in the sky, that can go into the stratosphere.
That happened with one of the past ones in the Pacific, right? What island? There was an island that
Are you talking about the one off of Russia just recently, and it was impacting the flights?
There was a different one. There was a different one. I think it happened 2 years ago, but it shot ash into the stratosphere.
Yep.
And you can kind of see it. You could see it on like the satellite imagery where it broke that barrier between the troposphere and the stratosphere.
And then I forget what year it is, but many years ago, I believe it was an Iceland eruption that affected flights to and from Europe from the United States. It was a major nightmare for people trying to get there, because that's the way they fly. They don't fly directly over the ocean in a straight line. We go kind of on this shape that goes up north, because it's the shortest
distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever look on those maps, you know, in the airplane, and you see it curved, you're wondering, why in the world is it like that? Taking the shortest distance. You have to think of the Earth as a sphere.
Yes.
It's not this, you know, it's not just point A, point B, draw a line. There's a certain way to do it.
If we wanted to go from here to Moscow or here to Siberia, it would make more sense for us to fly over the North Pole than to fly towards Japan. And then to go back over. That would be so much more time. Just think of it as in terms of distance. Obviously, ignore the political boundaries. Just think of it as a raw distance equation. And you want to go the shortest distance. I mean, if you're at the grocery store, you take the shortest distance you can to get to where you want to go. You're not going to go through another aisle to get to the eggs if you don't want to. So, yeah, so that is the hope for tonight. Hopefully we'll have clear skies for that launch. I mean, the weather's
fingers
looking...
crossed.
Yeah.
I think we should be fine, though. I don't think there's going to be a need for fingers crossed. We're looking pretty good.
Weather's looking really good. Let's see, what camera is this? Does this load? It is not loading. Oh, no, it is loading. We're going to end on this pretty view. So this is the view from Nags Head, Jeanette's Pier looking north. So we'll be back in just a little bit. We're going to take a look at that local forecast, talk about tropics, what's out there, and what might be trying to form or what may not be forming. We'll have that in just a little bit. So we're looking pretty good here in terms of the tropics. I'm not super concerned about anything that's out there right now. Here's a look at Ferdinand. So we have the storm. It actually got a little stronger, 50-mile-an-hour winds.
My theory there is the Gulf Stream. It's probably hit it right, running into the Gulf Stream as it kind of moves up northeast. The Gulf Stream pretty much crosses the Atlantic. Some people don't remember that. At least sometimes I even forget about that the Gulf Stream can pretty much run all the way to Europe. So it's probably kind of following closely to that.
Did we learn that in Finding Nemo? Wasn't that in that movie?
I believe so.
Like it was
that current where the turtles are going through. Yeah.
I only saw that movie once, and that was the only thing I remembered from that movie.
What is it? The scene is like, give me some fin.
Yeah.
Noggin, dude. Yeah, that best scene in the movie. Best scene in the whole movie.
Definitely a good movie. So, I mean, with that, that's the one storm that's out there. Anything else that's on the long-range models from the GFS or the Euro? I'm not seeing anything even in the fantasy land.
It's looking pretty inactive, which is good. But even if it was going to be active, we really have this kind of blocking. We're going to have this almost blocking pattern.
Yeah, I mean, look at our pattern. So this is now already into Sunday. You see how there's that trough or that dip or that cool air that's still pushing down into our area.
It's going to kind of shield us from anything, really.
Yeah, it keeps it down towards Florida. So this model has a storm forming offshore, not a hurricane, but an area of low pressure forming offshore.
Maybe, what is this, next week?
Yes, this is next week already, Wednesday to Thursday.
Could give us maybe another run of swell. It's just going to be the problem is likely going to be the wind.
Yeah.
If this ends up happening, because we'll have that front that's basically draped to the south, winds will push towards the front. That usually will mean north or northeasterly wind. Low pressure forms along it, it reinforces that northeast wind. So kind of think back to early August. Dexter formed offshore. Yep. We had that northeast wind swell that lasted for like 2 weeks, but it was just really messy every day. That could be what this next kind of run is like if this scenario ends up happening.
I'm kind of hoping we actually get an area of rain that forms. So the Euro has that same setup, but it pushes it more inland. So Friday we're looking good, into Saturday we're looking good, and then here's Sunday. It has a couple of showers sneaking into our area.
That like stalled boundary is kind of hanging out,
but it
North
doesn't
Carolina-ish, and then keep playing it. There it comes. There's that low that forms along the
Tuesday
tail
and
end of it and rides it right up the coast. More rain for our area. Still going to be some swell. I think mid next week we're definitely looking at potential swell. It's just going to be, the question is conditions.
I want the swell certainly, but I want to get a nice, slow, soaking, rainy day.
It's been a little bit since I feel like a wide swath of the area has had something. It's been a little dry.
Yep, for the month of August, we're 3.5 inches behind average.
That's a lot.
For the Norfolk Airport. Now, that is not the case for like Newport News or for the Eastern Shore where you got 6 inches of rain last week.
Yeah.
So you're fine.
It depends on where you are.
Yes.
We've had those spotty downpours. But nothing large scale where everybody got it.
This is probably the longest stretch of dry weather we've had so far this summer. At least it's not super hot.
At least for Norfolk.
Yeah, for Norfolk and for some spots on the south side too. Even parts of the peninsula didn't get the big rainfall. There were parts that didn't get as much rain. So that's one thing that I'm kind of hoping for. My tomatoes are still doing great, but they're starting to look a little stressed. I watered them yesterday. I don't want to have to start watering them. They don't like when I water them.
Right.
They prefer a nice rainy pattern. So we'll see what happens. My other garden, bell peppers, they're okay this year. They're not doing that great. I might switch over to a fall crop of some collards. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that bed yet. I got to do something with it. That bed hasn't been doing well for me this year.
Right.
It's been just like, I'll give you a couple of things. Otherwise, I'm just going to grow things and just grow leaves.
Gardening is not my thing.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is.
It's tough. It's fun. It's rewarding. The tomatoes have been very rewarding. So hopefully your gardens have been doing well. If you're watching right now, this is a cool view from the Outer Banks. This is from a viewer from Michelle Tillman. This is the waterspout.
Little waterspout.
Yeah, waterspout seen earlier. This is around 9:45 in the morning. This is from Kitty Hawk Pier. We got some images that were from spots near Duck that showed the waterspout all the way down to the surface of the water, but that's still pretty impressive right there.
Yeah, it looks like it was, tiny little storm there. Look at that little rain shaft, a really small looking storm.
Yep, definitely connected to that. Forming over the warm water, probably feeding off of that.
Yeah.
So that
interactions with the offshore sea breeze and wind, a little bit of that twist in the atmosphere.
Yeah, so certainly kind of cool to see that. It's very fun. So if you want to see it, you want to zoom in on your phone, you can check out my Facebook page. We might even have it on the WAVY page as well. Let me see if I can find the historical radar, because what is it, 3:23 now? So we're looking at 9:45. Oh, yeah, there it is. So let's switch over to Max. So there's that storm right there.
That one singular cell.
Yeah, so this
Pretty decent cell, too.
Yeah, so this is at 9:45. I have it on the last 12 hours. Let's see if we can sneak it to last 6 and or rewind it. So there it is right there. So you can see it forming and just staying offshore. So that was it. That's what created the water spout.
Really? And it moved away. Moved kind of way down so Kill Devil Hills, probably saw it, Duck. Yeah. Where was that video from?
That was from Kitty Hawk.
Kitty Hawk.
Kitty Hawk
okay,
here.
Got it.
That's near one of my secret spots for good waves.
Don't tell anybody.
That's kind of close.
Blowing up the spot.
Yeah. There's a great hamburger restaurant that's near there too. To get a hamburger after surfing.
You've told me about this place.
Woo-wee! Good spot. I'm not going to name drop restaurants, but if you know the Northern Outer Banks, you probably know what I'm talking about. So that's the storm right there. That was from earlier. As we go into tonight, I'm not seeing anything that's going to be popping up. We'll take a look at the future radar. We'll zoom it back towards the Hampton Road cities. We're not even tracking clouds right now, so we're really looking good. Visible satellite. Let's let that load. Couple of clouds out there, some mainly into northeast North Carolina and for the Outer Banks, but otherwise we're really looking good for tonight.
Yeah, looking good, and that launch should have a wind out. A little bit of rain towards Hatteras.
Yeah, I saw those clouds. I want to turn the radar back on. So a couple of showers moving towards Cape Hatteras right now. So just a little rain that we're tracking for this evening for the Outer Banks, but for the rest of the area, we're looking pretty good. That's a good reason to take a look at the future track for areas on the Outer Banks. So, model's not doing that great of a job on initialization. Yikes.
Yeah.
But it does have a couple of showers that are possible
to
now
south,
through sunset.
South of the Albemarle Sound.
Yep.
Yeah, we're looking good.
Otherwise, into tomorrow, a lot more cloud cover pushes in tomorrow.
Early in the morning, it looks like maybe past 4 a.m.
Yep. And it
then the
has a little
clouds come in.
disturbance still for the southern Outer Banks.
Yeah, well, at least for the day on Friday, we'll be tracking that front that kind of pushes through. It doesn't really give us a huge chance for rain coming up Saturday, but it kind of just reinforces the cooler air. The trend here next few days is cooler and drier.
Yep.
At least as we go through the weekend and beyond.
Yep.
Feeling pretty fall-like. Friday, we'll get a little bit of a bump in that humidity out ahead of the front, and maybe a little bit of that warmth back into maybe the mid-80s. But yeah, Thursday's looking nice.
Yeah, looking nice. We'll just go through some of the other high temperatures here for tomorrow. We're running low on time. We got a minute left, but let me just show you your temperatures for tomorrow. We'll have a lot of sunshine, beautiful across the south side with high temperatures in the low 80s, maybe 79 degrees, Virginia Beach. It probably actually will be 81 degrees in Virginia Beach. I don't know why it's saying the ocean front is warmer than Virginia Beach. That's kind of strange.
Weird model thing.
Yeah, that's strange. So I would say 81 degrees, Virginia Beach. For the peninsula, middle peninsula, you're looking really nice. Around 80 to 81 degrees across the peninsula. And last but not least, we'll look at the eastern shore, and you're looking at great weather. So for Cape Charles to Exmoor, 78 to 80 degrees. And for the Accomack County areas, upper parts of the eastern shore, you're looking at temperatures that will be in the 70s and 80s. So great weather coming up for everyone tomorrow. We're going to keep this weather going. You're going to have updates coming up at 4 o'clock today, Brian.
Yes.
I'll be on at 5. We're going to talk more about that water spout and that rocket launch and tropics. Anything else new that pops up, we'll have it on our newscast. We'll see you on later on tonight. Have a good night.